You've been the victim of a false or misleading report from a citizen's insurance inspection? If so, stay tuned and hear about an article I read here. See, in the face of simple overwhelm, Citizens is admittedly increasing inspections from about 3,200 inspections per year to about 350,000 inspections by 2025. If you own black-haired cats, you might not get insurance. If your neighbor has a large tree in their front yard, you might not get insurance. If you don't cut your grass the day before the inspector shows up, you might not get insurance. It appears that Citizens is deviating from simple standards, which I can appreciate and even understand on some level, but at some point you got to think that these deviations need to follow some simple standard. You see, a lot of these items that are required to be reported on don't require a high school education. It's really simple stuff. You see, in the past, insurers were only concerned about the four major points: roofing, mechanical, electrical, plumbing. But now, at least Citizens is performing general condition inspections by, according to the article, inspectors with little or no training, and go for as low as $32 per property, according to publicly available contracts. What level of expertise would you expect from a price point like that? The sentiment I see and read in these articles and stories is one of consumer shock, where they are expecting at least the inspectors to be state licensed home inspectors. There are plenty of stories to be found online, and the BBB, Better Business Bureau, is not short on similar complaints. There appears to be a pattern. According to the article, there are a number of those companies out there. Insurance Information Institute Director of Communications Mark Friedlander said, "The use of the unlicensed inspections and depopulation efforts raises questions about how Citizens is shifting homeowner policies to the private market." In other words, for Citizens to cull out some of these unwanted accounts, they're going to simply drop you for stupid stuff, or they've got to do something to make these accounts more appealing to private insurers on the market by probably making you replace or repair something, and often those things are expensive. In one of the reports I read, these inspectors are making comments that are absolutely impossible to determine in normal field conditions, like stating that the house is on septic. There's no way to really know that, and in this one case, it caused a certain insurer's premium to go up about 100%. One inspector reported that the home had no required second electrical panel and no temperature pressure relief valve on the water heater, which in fact they both existed. Matter of fact, one is not even required and the other still existed. They were both there. Consumers and insurance agents really need to review these inspections carefully to make sure that they're even accurate. I know there's at least one inspector here in this area that can't tell the difference between mold and dryer lint. There's at least one inspector here in this area that can't tell the difference between cloth wiring and a dead vine. Hey, what they're doing is not necessarily best practices. So if you need an expert, we're available. If you need media assistance, the reporter on this story is Daniel Rivero, and he'd love to hear from you. Heck, I'd love to hear from you. Please tell me your stories in the replies below, in the comments down below. In the meantime, if you've got an inspector coming, hey, cut your grass. Clean the vines off the fence. Clean the fence up if you need to. You might even need to clean your roof. Matter of fact, you should go ahead and do that anyway, because it is widely known now that some insurers are doing their own roof evaluations with something like Google Earth. Seriously. Anyway, thanks for hanging with me, and I appreciate your likes and subscribes.